Hey everyone, so Melody here, and I just want to say firstly thank you to all my followers that have been subscribed to my channel for such a long time. It's been 3 years now since I've started, so it's been 3 years of writing, and so thank you so much for your continued support. And for any new followers to my channel, welcome. I talk about motorcycles and my personal experience from getting my M1 to my M2. And so what's going on in my life now is that I will be getting my M soon. So it's definitely been tough, and I know a lot of you have experienced this, that with COVID, there's been so many delays in getting your M1, M2, or M, but it looks like things are hopefully going to get better. And here in Toronto, at least, we just opened up in phase 1. So I'm gonna take that as a good sign and hope that things stay open from here. So in this video, I actually just wanted to go over a couple common questions that I get. And I do love hearing from you all. I love hearing from you on Instagram or here on my channel through the comments. As you can see, I definitely do my best to reply to all the comments, if not all of them. I definitely try. And so a lot of common questions that I get are, number one is, I do have a lot of people that ask me on Instagram or YouTube, and they'll tell me a bike that they're getting, and they'll tell me their age, and then they'll ask me how much they're going to probably pay for insurance. So I'm not an insurance agent, unfortunately. So with this, what I say a lot of times is that when it comes to insurance, they look at so many personal details. So they'll look at your age, they'll look at your driving history, if you've gotten any tickets at all. They're gonna look at your address, because apparently based on your address, if there are a lot of accidents in the area, they're gonna hike up your insurance rates because there's more of a risk there. I found this out by an insurance agent, so feel free to ask around in your areas as well. And they're gonna look at your gender. Like, unfortunately, they're sexist in this way that if you're a guy, you will probably have to pay more than a girl. That's just based on studies and research, I'm afraid. And then of course, like I've mentioned before, the type of bike. So if you're in your M1 and you want to ride a Ducati that has like 1,000 cc's, awesome. But that's such a risk on them that you're gonna hike up the charges on that too. So just a few things to consider there. And what I do tell people a lot is get different quotes from different insurance companies, because they are the ones that will give you like the facts on how much you'll have to pay based on your specific scenario. Like I mentioned, I am with NFP. They used to be Dalton Insurance, now they're NFP. I think it's pretty decent. It's lowered over the 3 years now. So now I'm paying like $175 a month, which is awesome. I think anyways. But yeah, so I like NFP because I'm with them. They've been very reliable. And I just recently heard, so if you're getting your M1, apparently Desjardins, I don't know how to pronounce that, but apparently they will insure an M1 rider. I just found this out, but definitely call them and see if that's true for you, because it could be based on other factors. And so those are two insurance companies that I can recommend on here. And then I would Google other insurance companies as well, or ask around. There's so many Facebook groups that are awesome in terms of motorcycle Facebook groups that you can quickly ask, and you'll get so many comments. It's amazing. So another question that I get asked often is, the M2 riding course. So when I did the M2 riding course, I did mine with Motorsoul. I thought they were incredible from start to finish. And so a lot of people ask me what the experience is like. So there are 3 days. And so let me say as well, the point of the M2 riding course is to learn how to ride, and you will also do your M2 test on the final day. So for me, it was a win-win. For a lot of people, they also believe it's a win-win, because if you're also like me, I didn't have anyone that I could practice like on their bike, or I could practice on any bike. I didn't have a bike when I had my M1. So the way the M2 riding course works, or at least the one I did with Motorsoul, was it's a 3-day course. So the first day, it was on a Thursday night, and it was in person, and they just had a couple slides and gave some information about motorcycles. So basically anything that's kind of provided on like the government website, and they put a spin on it in terms of from their company. So this is the first day. When I did it, it was a Thursday night, but now because of COVID, I believe it's now virtual. So it's a virtual class first. And it's nice because you're gonna meet the instructors virtually. And then when I did it, it was a weekend, so it was a Saturday and Sunday. On the Saturday, it was awesome. I believe it started around 8 a.m. and then it went until like 5 p.m. I think. I could be wrong because now it's been a while, but definitely feel free to ask them. But it was a full day of like learning how to ride. So it was amazing because I had never ridden before. I honestly didn't even know if I had it in me. I was terrified, but it was great. They are there and so supportive and teaching you the right way to learn, because if you've never used a clutch and switch gears, it is crazy hard in the beginning, I will fully admit, but if I can do it, you can do it. You just need to practice, and then it is nice that you have that support. And another question that I get often is, a lot of people ask me if they provide bikes, and Motorsoul does provide the bikes, which I loved as well. So you have all these bikes lined up, and you just choose one. It might get a bit competitive with other students, because if you see one you love, just run to it because someone else might want it. And you can switch it up throughout the course, but I remember when I did it, I used the same bike for all the days. It was a Honda Groms, like the tiny little bikes that they are so fun. And it was a great starter bike because it's tinier than the one that I have now. I could be wrong, but I think it's just like 150 cc's. I don't know, don't quote me on that, but it was small enough that I felt very comfortable that if I were to ever fall, which luckily I didn't, that I know it wouldn't have been like a high or a really hard fall. So they do provide bikes is an answer to that question. And then another question that I get asked a lot is, do you do your M2 test? So yes. So now we're on the final day. So this was the Sunday when I did it, and you're gonna have a few hours before you do the test to practice. So you're just gonna practice on your bike, make sure you feel comfortable. And the M2 test is basically like a series of, I wanna say, obstacles. So the instructors are gonna have like timers, and they're gonna ask you to do certain obstacles that they've taught you on Saturday throughout the day. So you're just gonna be repeating those like exercises or obstacles, and just make sure that you do it in a certain time span. Don't worry too much though, because you do, at the end of the day, it is amazing how much time you get to practice. So, and at the end, I remember like one of the instructors, what they really wanted to send out there in terms of a message was like, a lot of times you'll pass as long as you do not drop your bike. So keep that in mind if you ever do a riding course. Just don't drop your bike. Really, just have, practice a lot, have that full control. Even when you're called out for lunch, because there is a lunch break on the Saturday, what I did was I ate my lunch quickly, and then I was like on that bike, just practicing. And I loved it too. It was so much fun. And so if you have any other questions about the M2 riding course, about my personal experience with Motorsoul, I'd be happy to answer some more questions. And I'm trying to think of any other common questions that I get asked, but those are usually the top two, are about insurance quotes and about the my experience with the M2 riding course. I guess what I'll also mention is, and I've mentioned this in one of my other videos, is that you do not have to do the M2 course. You can get your M2 with Service Ontario, so you can book it with them, and then apparently what they do is they'll give you a headset, and then they'll follow you. I think it's either in a car or on a bike, and with that headset they'll tell you where to go and where to navigate, and then that's how they'll give you the M2 test. I've never done that, since I did the riding course. I don't know anyone that's done that, to be honest, but I'm sure it's like if you're comfortable and you have your own bike, then that can be another way to get your M2. And yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. And as always, feel free to comment, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I'm on TikTok now as well. A few of you have noticed, which is awesome. I love that we can keep the conversation going on other platforms. It's so much fun. And as always, guys, if you like my channel and like my videos, please hit that subscribe button. And again, if you're a new follower, welcome. Thank you so much for coming across my video and watching. And for everyone that's followed me so far, I really, really appreciate the continued support. Have a great day, everybody.